stand up. You don't have to for me. Hey. The day I was diagnosed with a serious mental illness was the day a part of me shut down. All of my hopes and dreams suddenly felt really stupid and ridiculous. On a beautiful, crisp winter's morning in 2002, I sat with the consultant psychiatrist in the hospital. I knew him and he was a perfect gentleman and he was kind. After I answered 100 questions, he said, "Marrianne, you have manic depression." By the time I had got off my seat and gone to my mum in the waiting room, I could feel the heavy weight of stigma enveloping my body, and it became more difficult to breathe. From that day also, I found there was this fear of being found out. This was 15 years ago, and believe me, the stigma and the fear was very real. Thankfully, lighten the mood. I always manage it, don't I? Manic depression got rebranding. A bit like, Snickers used to be Marathon Bar. Now it's bipolar mood disorder. And if you're cool with the kids, yeah, it's just bipolar. They say take note of who you're jealous of. I love this kind of thing, so I'm like, okay, who am I jealous of? After a couple of hours, I'm like, who the hell am I jealous of? I just can't think of anyone. I turn on Radio 4, and there he is, David Sedaris, my only idol. David is an American author and humorist, and he travels the world sharing his stories about family and friends, his everyday musings, and extracts from his diaries of over 40 years. I am jealous of him. Come on, who wouldn't be jealous? The world, sharing stories, yada, yada, yada. But also, isn't humorist the coolest job in the world? Now, if you'll just bear with me if you may, let's just say that I'm at a really kind of cool indie dinner party, and let's just say that my potential great guy's over here and he says, "So Marrianne, what do you do?" I'm like, "Me? Oh, you know, nothing of interest or difference. I'm just a humorist." He's like, "Wow, ladies, 3 weeks later, there's a ring on the finger." Now, obviously, I'm being silly and I'm a fantasist. I so believe that could happen. Recently, my friend Sabrina and I, we went to Bristol to see David. And believe me, he packs out auditoriums. He has 2 sisters with bipolar, one who is still with us, and the other who took her life. Afterwards, it was a school night. I was driving 100 miles home, and I looked at my friend and we went, "Ugh." But I turned around and I saw David speaking to this woman, and she was lit up inside to meet him, and we thought, feck it, why not? And we queued. About an hour and 20 minutes later, I am there in front of my idol, the person who I admire the most in the world, who I don't know. I didn't really know what to say, but I just found myself saying, "David, I've got bipolar and it's been a real struggle, but of recent times I feel I'm finally coming out of it, and I want to be of use. I want to help others. He clearly had acknowledged that, but as I was speaking, he said, "Do you write?" I say, "I write all the time." And then he started scribbling on my cue card that I'd given him to, just sort of autograph at the end. And frankly, as he was scribbling, I thought, David, a bit rude. So afterwards, I'm walking through this crowded bar at this art centre. I'm ploughing through, and I stop and I look at my cue card. And it says, "Dear Marrianne." And then there was a scribble of a rectangle and an arrow pointing to it. And it said, "Your book. Your book." The person that I admire so much had been listening to me, and I felt so noticed and so understood. As I stood there, surrounded by merriment, tears started to roll down my cheeks uncontrollably like a child, and I didn't care who saw it. I felt heard. As we were walking out of the art centre, I actually felt that I could breathe more easily, that I could breathe better than I ever had done for 25 years or more. My hopes and dreams, to me, are no longer stupid and ridiculous. My hopes and dreams, they're joyous and they're vibrant and they're nourishing and they're real. They're very, very real. So if this is of interest to you and you want to follow my journey, I don't have a website yet. I'm scared of technology, but I've got a friend who's going to help me. Then please do take down my email address, and it's RRN, as you'll never get through. Thank you so much for listening. Yeah.